Hi everyone, it's Deborah. I'm going to show you how to make my country fried potatoes, breakfast potatoes. But even though I say they're breakfast, my mom used to make these for a side dish for dinner. So first thing is to get out the potatoes you want to use. I cook mine with the skin on, but if you don't want the skin on it, you could peel them. Same process. I just like the flavor of the skin, so I keep it on. So let me show you how to dice these up, and we'll go from there. So the way that I dice my potatoes is I cut them in half, and then from there, I chop them in pieces like this. Very simple. And you want about this thickness. So the reason I'm showing you, I'm not going to show you how to do all of them, but you want them about this thick. Okay, I'm going to finish dicing these up and I'll be back. Okay, I finished dicing them up. I have about 6 medium-sized potatoes here, just regular russet potatoes that I've chopped up. I'm going to put these in a bowl and grab an onion, and I'll show you what I do with that. Okay, so I have I'm going to put in a red sweet pepper into my potatoes. Now I know some of you probably have family members that don't like onions. You could omit this. You don't have to put onions in it. I like onions. I'm putting them in. You could also put in bell peppers. I'm not going to do that on this recipe because I don't have any in my kitchen. Otherwise, I would. Bell peppers are really good in this recipe too. So let me show you how I cut a red onion. I know there's plenty of techniques, but I'll show you my easy way. I just cut the ends off, scoot it out of here. I put one slip down to get this top layer off, peel it off. I just take the whole top layer, get the wood off, easy peasy. Then I cut it in half, and then from here, I just slice it up. Now you could do the big pieces like this, but I'm gonna cut it again in thirds. And that's how I get my pieces. So I'm going to finish this other half and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm at the pan I'm using. So I'm using a fry pan. For this recipe, you have to have a lid. You have to have a secure lid that will steam your vegetables. So the main thing with this recipe is not so much the ingredients, which of course have good ingredients and spices, but it's the cooking technique, which is what people have struggled with. How do we make these without there being mushy or dry potatoes? So over the years, this is something my mom made, and I picked it up from her years ago, and now I've continued on. So you want to get your pan warm, and we want to have a medium-high heat. So let's say from 0 to 10 is your setting, 10 being the hottest setting. You want to have this on 6 or 7. And you want to let the oil warm up. So we're going to let this sit for a minute. You could see on the spoon how much oil. It's hard for me to tell you how many cups of oil because I don't know your pan size. But you could see the dampness. See the line of the... You want to have a good chunk of vegetable oil in there. You could also do lard if you want, but I'm using corn oil. So anyways, I'm going to heat that up. And then I'll come back when it's warm and put the ingredients in, and I'll show you how to layer it. Hi, I'm back. Okay, as you can see, I just dropped a little piece of onion in the oil to test it, and you can see it's good and hot. So now we're going to add the potatoes. Now, I know some of you might be worried about how much oil I have in here. We will use a slotted spoon to remove it, and then I also, when these potatoes are done, I dry them. I have a bowl with paper towels, and I kind of drain off any excess oil that you might have. So I'll show you all that at the end of this video. But like any videos I show, I recommend you watch the video, see if you're interested in it, want to try it, and then do it again with me. So right now we're going to add those potatoes and those onions. The trick to this recipe is not to mess with it, to let them cook. So we're gonna put the lid on it, and I'm just gonna let these steam for probably, a good 10 minutes. So right now I'm checking the time. I'll come back and check these, and then I'll show you, because we don't want to stir them yet. We want to let the bottoms get good and cooked, and I'm going to put the lid on it and let it steam. When we come back, we'll season it. Okay, I've been steaming these for 10 minutes, and I checked the bottom of it, and this is critical, so I want to show y'all. See, I look at the bottom, they're not toasted, so I'm going to just let these sit. You do not want to stir them yet. So this is after 10 minutes, and they're not ready yet. They're kind of getting close. But you're looking for a look at the bottom of the pan more than time. So mine are still steaming. I'm just going to let these suckers sit, and I'll be back. So it's been 10 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Let's check them together. I've been cooking these. They've been on the stove cooking for 17 minutes. So I'm going to check, see how they're doing. So I still have not stirred them. But let's check underneath. Oh, yeah. So that's the look you want. See that brownness? Now, before we give it a good stir, we're going to season them right now. So I just keep things simple. You know, if you have family where, you know, I put onions in them, but if your family don't like onions, you could put these chopped onions in right now, grab a handful and sprinkle it on there, and they won't know the difference, but you'll still get the flavor. So, so what I use at this point is garlic salt. Because these things get crispy, I will use garlic, fresh garlic, but, you know, you could overcook the garlic, I have found. So, you know, if I have garlic salt, that's what I use. So I just kind of get a handful of it. I don't really sprinkle right from the can because I can't control or see how much I'm putting in. So I just kind of pour stuff in my hand like this. And then I go 1, 2, 3. Usually that's good. 1, 2, 3. And then I had a little extra. I'll put it back or throw it out. And then the same. So I use garlic salt, regular salt, table salt. And then I like pepper. So again, I pour it in my hand. 1, 2, 3. I just give it a good coat. So now it's time to stir these up. So now we're going to flip these over. See the colors? And I know, again, it looks like a lot of vegetable oil. A lot of that is the steam from the potatoes. And we're going to cook the rest of the time with the lid off. So you'll see it'll dry out a lot. And then we do strain these. So I know it seems like a lot, but it turns out delicious. So we're going to let it cook another 5 or 10 minutes like this. So I'll come back when I'll be visualizing it. Again, like I said, you should watch this once before you try doing it. But I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes and show you what the next step is. Okay, it's been 5 minutes since the last mix. So I just wanted to show you all what you're looking at here. Now we could start stirring this. Now, you know, we're deep frying these just like you kind of, I guess, do with French fries. But we're going to let these cook a little bit longer. You can see the nice colors we're getting. All those flavors. So you could give it a little toss here. You don't want to see how it starts breaking up. The more you stir it, the more they break up. So, you know, the technique we use is we don't want to stir it a lot and mush them up. We want to keep it as solid as possible. So I could tell just based on my experience of making these need to sit a little bit longer. So I'll come back in another 5 minutes. Hi, so it's been another 5 minutes. Let's give these a stir. So I use a spatula. I can scrape the bottom. So you want to just toss these, scrape. Oh yeah, they're perfect. Just give these a good, if you have anything stuck to your bottom, scrape all that off. Oh, that's good flavor. So we're going to stir these up just like that. And I think these are about ready to take off. So I'm going to show you how I prep my bowl to strain these. Okay, here is the bowl that I'm going to put these in. And I have 3 layers of paper towels. I have a glass bowl. I have 1 layer. Then I put another layer of paper towels this way and another one this way. And we're going to serve them in this bowl. But first, we're going to try to get out as much of the oil as possible. Okay, here we go. So I have a slotted spoon, and I am going to put the potatoes, so get as much oil as I can out, and then I'm going to put them in this bowl. And scraping any of the goodies that might be stuck to the bottom of the pan. Oh, that stuff's flavor, so you want to take that with it. Any flavors. Oh, I dropped one. So just drain it all out. Let's get all these out of here. So this is not a hard recipe. It's really a technique, in my opinion, of how you fry it. You know, you could really taste the difference when they're pan fried like this versus just put on a cookie sheet and baked. Okay, so I got all the little goodies out. Take that off the burner. And then the next thing I do is I kind of roll it just like this in these paper towels. Simple, easy, just kind of roll it back and forth and let it absorb all that oil. Doesn't take a lot. Kind of roll it in there. Roll it. And then look at all that oil that I absorbed. And there's your country fried breakfast potatoes. Delicious. They're good, and just so you know, if you want to make breakfast burritos, these are perfect for that. So throw in some eggs and bacon and roll it up and some cheese, and you have a breakfast burrito.